They say revenge is a dish best served cold, but sometimes it's served with a smile so warm that nobody sees the ice beneath. 3 months ago, I lost everything in one night: my dignity, my hair, and what I thought were my closest friends. Now I'm touching my newly grown shoulder-length hair while looking at an old photo from last summer. 5 faces smiling back at me, all of them destroyed. And the funny thing is, they did it to themselves. I just didn't stop them. My name is Hannah Campbell. I'm 29 years old, and this is the story of how a simple bet revealed the monsters hiding behind friendly faces. Before I continue, if you're enjoying this story, please hit that like button and let me know in the comments where you're watching from and what time it is there. I love hearing from all of you amazing listeners around the world. Let me take you back to before everything fell apart. Chicago, Lincoln Park neighborhood, where 5 college friends kept their tradition alive for 7 years. Every Saturday night, we'd gather at Jake Morrison's apartment. You know the type: exposed brick walls, craft beer collection, a poker table he spent way too much on but justified as an investment in friendship. Jake was our unofficial leader. 31, working in tech sales, engaged to a gorgeous pharmaceutical rep named Amanda, the guy who always had to win. Then there was Megan Chen, our social media queen. 28, marketing consultant by day, wannabe influencer by night. She documented everything, and I mean everything. Pics or it didn't happen was basically her life motto. If Megan didn't post about it, did the tree even fall in the forest? Sarah Williams, 30, was finishing her PhD in sociology, the intellectual of our group, always psychoanalyzing everyone after 3 drinks. She had this way of making you feel stupid without directly saying it. You know the type, they quote obscure philosophers during beer pong. Tyler Brooks, the baby at 27, worked as a personal trainer but spent most of his money on sports betting. He was actually pretty good at magic tricks, learned them to impress girls at bars. That detail would matter later, though I didn't know it then. And me? I was the sweet one, the one who brought homemade cookies to poker night, remembered everyone's birthdays, and always played along with their increasingly wild bets. Marketing coordinator at a nonprofit, living in a studio apartment I could barely afford, but hey, at least I had my friends, right? Our poker nights had evolved over the years. What started as $5 buy-ins had escalated into something else. The bets became the real game. Loser drinks a ghost pepper smoothie. Loser texts their ex at 2 a.m. Loser wears a chicken costume to Whole Foods. Harmless fun, we told ourselves. Until that night in March when Jake shuffled the cards with a grin that should have been my first warning. "I've got the ultimate bet," he announced, his voice carrying that tone that meant he'd been planning something. "We've been playing it safe for too long. Time to raise the stakes." Megan looked up from her phone. A rare occurrence. "If this is another food challenge, I'm out. That cricket protein shake nearly killed me." No, this is better." Jake leaned back, savoring the moment. Loser shaves their head, completely bald, tonight, on live stream. The room went quiet. Sarah laughed nervously. "That's extreme, even for us." "What's wrong?" Jake challenged. "Scared you'll lose? Come on, hair grows back. It's not permanent." Tyler was already in, of course. "I'm down. Been thinking about going bald anyway. The rock look, you know? Here's the thing about group dynamics. Once half the group agrees, the pressure on the rest becomes almost unbearable." Sarah agreed next, then Megan, who was already calculating the viral potential. They all looked at me, sweet Hannah, who never said no to a group decision. My stomach churned, but their eyes were all on me, waiting, judging. "Sure," I heard myself say. "Why not?" The second round of cards felt different. Looking back, I know why. Tyler's magic phase had taught him more than just card tricks. The cards were marked. Subtle indentations only someone who knew what to look for would notice. But I was too focused on my growing anxiety to pay attention to how Tyler kept adjusting his position, how Jake's deals seemed too smooth, how Megan kept checking her phone like she was waiting for something. I lost every hand, not dramatically, that would have been suspicious, just a slow, steady drain of chips until I had nothing left. The final hand, I had 2 pairs, queens and tens, good cards, safe cards. Jake had a full house. Well. he said, that grin spreading across his face like oil on water. Looks like Hannah's getting a new look tonight. My first instinct was to laugh it off, to deflect with humor like I always did. Okay, you got me. How about we do this tomorrow? I need to mentally prepare for my Sinead O'Connor era. No way. Jake was already standing, moving with purpose. Rules are rules, Hannah. We all agreed. Tonight, on live stream. Jake, come on. What, you're backing out? Megan had her phone out, already recording. Hannah's chickening out, everyone. I'm not chickening out, Then let's do this. Tyler jumped up, energized by the prospect of drama. This is going to be legendary. Jake disappeared into his bedroom and returned with professional-grade clippers. Not the cheap drugstore kind you'd expect for a spontaneous bet, but expensive, cordless, barber-quality clippers. Still in the box, with the receipt dated 2 weeks ago. You just happen to have these? I asked, my voice smaller than I intended. Borrowed them from my barber, Jake said smoothly. Too smoothly. Lucky timing, right? Sarah pulled a chair into the center of the room. Come on, Hannah. Don't be a spoil sport. We've all done embarrassing bets. But this felt different. The energy in the room had shifted from friendly teasing to something predatory. They formed a circle around me, phones out, recording from every angle. Megan was already on Instagram Live. Guys, you're not going to believe this, she narrated to her followers. Our girl Hannah lost a bet and she's about to go completely bald. The live stream comments started flooding in. Laughing emojis, shocked faces, people tagging their friends. My face burned as hundreds of strangers tuned in to watch my humiliation. Sit, Jake commanded, pointing to the chair. I sat. What else could I do? Run? Have them post videos of me running away like a coward? At least this way, I told myself, it would be over quickly. Jake clicked on the clippers. The buzz filled the room, drowning out my rapid heartbeat. He didn't start gently, didn't ease into it. He went straight down the middle of my head, a reverse mohawk that sent chunks of my brown hair falling onto my lap. Oh my God, Megan shrieked with delight. She looks like a monk, a baby monk. Sarah laughed, that intellectual laugh of hers. Actually, this is fascinating from a sociological perspective. The removal of hair as a form of social humiliation dates back to... Nobody cares about your thesis, Sarah, Tyler interrupted, zooming his phone in on my face. Holy shit, Hannah, you're actually crying. I was. I couldn't help it. Each pass of the clippers took more than just hair. My hair had been past my shoulders, nothing special but mine. Now it lay in chunks on Jake's hardwood floor like dead things. Don't cry, Jake laughed, running the clippers over another section. It's just hair. God, we didn't know you were so vain, Hannah. Megan's livestream viewer count hit 500. Our entire extended social circle was watching. Comments poured in. Is she being hazed? This is brutal LMAO. Poor girl looks terrified. Your friends are savage. Tyler started making up a song. Hannah's got no hair, Hannah's got no hair, looking like an egg, looking like an egg. 20 minutes. That's how long it took to remove 7 years of hair growth. Jake took his time, making sure to get every spot, running his hand over my scalp to check for missed patches. His touch made my skin crawl. Perfect, he announced finally. Guys, I present to you Hannah the human bowling ball. They laughed. God, how they laughed. Sarah snorted wine through her nose. Tyler fell off the couch. Megan turned her phone to selfie mode to capture her own reaction. Wait! Megan gasped between laughs. Hannah, say something to my followers. She shoved the phone in my face. I saw myself in the screen. Pale scalp, red eyes, looking like a cancer patient. 500 strangers watching, waiting. My voice cracked. I have to go. I stood up, hair falling from my lap like autumn leaves. My hands shook as I grabbed my purse. Oh, come on, Jake called after me. Don't be such a baby about it. Yeah, Hannah, it's just a joke, Sarah added. Learn to laugh at yourself. I made it to the door, their laughter following me. The last thing I heard was Megan saying to her live stream, and that, guys, is why you should never bet what you're not willing to lose. The Uber driver did a double take when I got in. He was kind enough not to ask anything else. I spent the ride home looking at my reflection in the window. This stranger looking back at me. My phone buzzed constantly. The video was already spreading. Someone had screen recorded it, posted it to TikTok with the caption, Girl gets destroyed by friends. 3,000 views in an hour. Then 10,000. Then 20. I called in sick Monday and Tuesday. By Wednesday, my boss was concerned enough to offer me the option to work from home for the week. Whatever you're going through, Hannah, we're here for you, she said. If only she knew. I spent those first days in a cocoon of self-pity, wearing beanies even inside my apartment. My sister Emma was the only one I let visit. Don't make permanent decisions based on temporary idiots, she said, bringing me ice cream and rage. But when you're ready, we'll make them pay. By day 3, something else crept in alongside the shame, suspicion. The clippers, professional grade, still in the box, receipt from 2 weeks ago. What barber loans out brand new equipment? I started scrolling through social media with detective eyes instead of victim tears. That's when I found it. Reddit, a Chicago subreddit where someone had posted the video with the title, "Local Friend Group Destroys Girl for Content. Anyone else think this was planned?" One comment stopped me cold. Yo, I know these people. There was a betting pool at McGillen's bar last week. They were taking bets on how she'd react, whether she'd cry, if she'd run. The whole thing was planned. Sick fuck-ax. McGillen's, Tyler's favorite sports bar. I kept digging. Megan's Instagram stories from 2 weeks ago, deleted now, but I'd screenshot them out of habit. There she was at Jake's place, and in the background, barely visible, shopping bags from a beauty supply store. Then I found Sarah's deleted tweet from 3 weeks ago, cached by Google. Sometimes social experiments happen in real life, not just in labs. Can't wait to share my findings. In Darwin, psychology, social dynamics. My hands shook, but not from shame anymore, from rage. I went deeper, found Tyler's Venmo transactions. He'd paid Jake $50 2 weeks ago with the message. Jake had paid him back $150 the day after they shaved my head. Easy money. But the worst discovery came from a message from an unknown number. I'm Tyler's ex, Anna. I recorded some things you should hear. They planned everything. I'm sorry I didn't warn you sooner. The audio files she sent were damning. Tyler bragging about the marked cards, demonstrating the system. Jake discussing Operation Baldy. Megan calculating potential viral reach. Sarah talking about her dissertation chapter on public humiliation. All recorded because Anna thought it was just drunk talk until she saw the live stream. I sat on my bathroom floor, laptop open, evidence spread across my screen like a map of betrayal. 7 years of friendship reduced to a cruel prank for content. But as I sat there, something strange happened. The crying stopped. The self-pity evaporated. In its place, something cold and calculating took root. I spent the next week learning everything YouTube could teach me about digital privacy. VPNs, burner phones, encrypted messaging. Amazing what you can learn when you're motivated by pure rage and have nothing but time. I knew these people. Really knew them. 7 years of secrets shared over drinks, confessions made during late-night talks. They trusted me with their darkness because I was too nice to ever use it against them. Jake's affair with his boss's wife, Amanda had no idea, but I'd seen the texts when he left his phone unlocked at my birthday dinner. Megan's fake charity fundraiser last year, she'd raised $3,000 for homeless youth that went straight into her Botox fund. Sarah's brilliant PhD thesis, 40% lifted from obscure German papers she thought no one would check. Tyler's gambling debts, not to apps or legal bookies, but to some very unfriendly people. They thought they knew me. Sweet Hannah who brings cookies, but there was something they didn't know. Nice doesn't mean weak. And patience? Patience is just rage that's learned to plan. I closed my laptop, stood up, and looked at myself in the mirror. The bald head was shocking, yes, but my eyes? My eyes had changed. Okay, I said to the stranger in the mirror. Let's play. 6 weeks later, I showed up to poker night. My custom wig had finally arrived. High-quality human hair, styled exactly like my old hair, but better. I'd also upgraded everything else. Subtle designer pieces bought secondhand. Good shoes. Real jewelry. If I was going to play chess while they played checkers, I needed to look the part. But first, let me take a moment to thank all of you incredible listeners. Your support, your comments, Your likes, they genuinely keep me going and help share these important stories. If you're enjoying this, please consider subscribing. It means the world to me. Truly. I texted the group that morning. Miss you guys. See you tonight? I'll bring those brownies you like, Jake. The replies came quickly, all fake enthusiasm and guilt. That night, I stood outside Jake's apartment door for a full minute, breathing, centering myself. Inside, I could hear them laughing. I knocked. Jake opened the door, and his face went through 3 expressions in rapid succession: surprise, guilt, and then forced enthusiasm. "Hannah! Oh my God, you look amazing! Your hair!" "Thanks, it's new." I touched the wig with practiced self-consciousness. The others were already there. The moment I walked in, the energy shifted. Megan jumped up, overcompensating. "Hannah! Babe! You look incredible!" Sarah studied me with analytical eyes. "You seem different." I smiled peacefully. Trauma changes people, Sarah. You'd know that from your studies, right? Chapter 7 of your thesis, if I remember correctly. The part about identity reformation after public humiliation? Her face went pale. She'd never sent me her thesis, but I'd found it online, including the German papers she'd borrowed from. "How did you—" "I've been doing a lot of reading lately," I said, taking my usual seat. Amazing what you can find online these days. Tyler dealt the cards, his hands slightly shaky. "So, we playing or what?" "Absolutely," I said, picking up my cards. "But no crazy bets tonight, right? I'm still recovering from the last one." Awkward laughter. "Hannah," Jake started, "about that night—" "Oh, don't," I interrupted, waving my hand. "Water under the bridge. You taught me that sometimes the people closest to you are capable of the greatest cruelty, and that everything leaves a digital footprint." Silence. "But enough philosophy," I said brightly. "Let's play cards. Though, Tyler, maybe use a regular deck this time? The marked ones must be exhausting to keep track of." Tyler's face went white. "What? The bicycle prestige deck with the marking system. Classic." I pulled out an identical deck from my purse. "See? Once you know what to look for, it's obvious." Jake snatched the cards from Tyler. "You cheated." "We all cheated," I said calmly. "You planned it. Megan filmed it. Sarah used it for research. Tyler rigged the game. The only honest person at that table was me." "Hannah, we can explain," Megan started. "No need. I'm here because I wanted you to see that you didn't break me. You freed me." I moved toward the door, then paused. "Oh, Jake, you might want to be careful with your phone. Amazing what someone might see, or who they might accidentally message." His hand went immediately to his pocket. "And Megan? That charity fundraiser? Such a noble cause. I'm sure the IRS would love to hear about it." "You wouldn't—" "Sarah, your thesis advisor seems lovely. Professor Zimmerman, right? He speaks German fluently." Sarah's face was paper white. "Tyler," I said finally. "Your bookie, Big Mike. He seems to think you've been holding out on him. Funny how rumors start." "Hannah, what did you do?" "Me?" I laughed, a sound like breaking glass. "I haven't done anything yet. But you know what they say about karma, right? Sometimes it needs a little push." I left then, walking out into the Chicago night. In my purse, my burner phone was already buzzing with confirmations. The game had begun. Jake Morrison had built his life like a house of cards. Impressive to look at, but one breath away from collapse. I just happened to be the breath. It started on a Tuesday. Amanda was supposed to be at a pharmaceutical conference in Indianapolis, but conferences can be canceled, especially when someone anonymously emails about a security threat that turns out to be nothing. Not that Amanda knew. Jake had deleted the email from their shared calendar. So there was Amanda, suddenly free, deciding to surprise her fiancé at his office with lunch from his favorite Thai place. Except Jake wasn't in his office. He was in his boss's office, with his boss's wife, Patricia. I didn't make Jake have an affair. I didn't force him to schedule his lunch meetings with Patricia every Tuesday and Thursday. All I did was send Patricia a text from a spoofed number. "Your husband's meeting was canceled. He's heading back to the office now." Patricia panicked. Jake panicked. And in their panic, they didn't notice Amanda standing in the doorway with pad thai growing cold in her hands. The beauty was the timing. Jake's boss, Richard, arrived just as his wife was adjusting her skirt in the hallway. Amanda was crying. The Thai food was spilled across the marble floor. "It's not what it looks like." Jake actually said that. Richard, a 60-year-old former Marine, just stared. Clean out your desk. But that was just Tuesday. Wednesday, Jake woke up to find his LinkedIn flooded with connection requests. Someone had updated his job title to unemployed cheater seeking new opportunities. His skills included deception and adultery. He changed it back, but screenshots were already circulating through Chicago's tech community. Thursday brought the group chat meltdown. Jake, guys, I need help. Everything's falling apart. Jake, Amanda left me. I lost my job. Someone's sabotaging me. I responded with a heart emoji. Oh no, want me to bring comfort brownies? He actually said yes. The audacity. I brought brownies, sat in his half-empty apartment and listened to him rant about conspiracy theories. It just doesn't make sense, he kept saying, pacing, his hair starting to thin from stress. The timing is too perfect. Maybe it's karma, I suggested gently. You know, for things you've done. He stopped pacing. What things? Oh, I don't know. Just when you put negative energy into the world, it tends to find its way back. His eyes narrowed. Hannah, you don't think that night with the bet, just a game, I finished. Just a joke? Jake, I'm not saying you deserve this. I'm just saying that when you humiliate someone for entertainment, sometimes life returns the favor. By Friday, Jake had bigger problems. Every tech company in Chicago seemed to know about the boss's wife incident. His apartment lease was under both names. Amanda wanted out, which meant he had to buy her out or move. With no job and no savings, guess which option he had? Saturday brought the final humiliation. Someone had signed him up for every baldness treatment newsletter on the internet. His email was flooded with, "Embrace your hair loss journey." The irony wasn't lost on anyone. 2 weeks later, I ran into Jake at Starbucks. He was wearing a baseball cap indoors. His hairline really was receding now. How's the job hunt? I asked pleasantly. It's going, he said carefully. You know what's funny? I said. A month ago, you had everything. Now look at you. Hannah, I'm not gloating, just observing how quickly things change when you're not careful with other people's feelings. He started. Did I sleep with your boss's wife? Did I update your LinkedIn? No, Jake, you did all that yourself. I was just working at my nonprofit. Check my Google Calendar. Completely traceable alibi. He stared at me. You seem different. Trauma changes people, sometimes for the better. Good luck, Jake. Oh, and you might want to try Rogaine. I hear it works if you start early. I left him there, his coffee growing cold. His mom's basement in Naperville was waiting. While Jake crumbled, I'd already set the other dominoes in motion. The architecture of destruction requires perfect timing. Megan's Instagram empire, 50,000 followers strong, was built on lies. Her Homeless Youth of Chicago fundraiser had funded her Tulum vacation. The IRS was about to become very interested. The anonymous tip included bank statements, Instagram posts from Tulum, and registration documents for a charity that didn't exist, sent from coffee shop Wi-Fi through a VPN. Comments started appearing on her posts. Where did the charity money go? Which shelters received donations? Megan posted a defensive rant about haters and jealous people. She actually said, "They hate us because they ain't us." The internet loves nothing more than an influencer who can't take criticism. A Reddit thread appeared. Chicago influencer at Megan Chen style potentially stole $3,000 from fake homeless charity. Receipts inside. Her followers dropped by thousands overnight. Brands vanished. Sponsorships evaporated. Sarah's downfall was academic. Professor Zimmerman was delighted to review her thesis after an anonymous email suggested interesting parallels with German papers from 2015. 40% of her thesis was stolen. Her defense was scheduled for next month. The email from the department, pending investigation into academic integrity violations. Your thesis defense has been indefinitely postponed. Her teaching position evaporated. 5 years of work destroyed. The irony? Her thesis was about social humiliation and group dynamics. Tyler's situation involved Big Mike and associates who operated on a different credit system. Tyler owed $15,000. Not catastrophic with time. But what if Big Mike heard Tyler had been bragging about his big score? Information traveled through Chicago's gambling ecosystem. A word here, a suggestion there. Suddenly, Big Mike was very interested in talking to Tyler. Tyler's gym had visitors. His apartment had watchers. His car developed recurring flat tires. His phone received texts. Tick-tock. The group chat exploded. Megan. Someone's destroying my career. Sarah. My entire academic life is over. Tyler. Guys, I need to borrow money. Now. Jake. I told you someone's after us. And me. Oh my goodness. Is there anything I can do to help? Tyler actually asked for $5,000. The audacity of asking the girl whose head he'd helped shave for money. I told him I could do $2,000, then sent him Venmo requests for $50 daily with, whoops, hit request instead of pay. The paranoia was delicious. They started suspecting each other. And me? I was the supportive friend, bringing cookies to Jake's mom's house, offering to help Megan with her apology tour. You're too good to us, Hannah, Megan sobbed. After what we did, what are friends for? I replied, rubbing her back. Hair grows back. Friendship is forever. She believed me. They all did. Because sweet Hannah couldn't possibly orchestrate this. Everything I did was legal or untraceable. I reported actual crimes. I exposed real plagiarism. I shared true information through channels that couldn't be traced back. 3 months after that night, I suggested a reunion dinner at RPM Italian. We need this, I texted. Let's remember why we became friends. They came desperately. I arrived early, my hair grown out to a chic pixie cut that looked intentional. Designer dress, subtle jewelry, an aura of success. Jake arrived first, 15 pounds lighter. Working at Best Buy now, living in Naperville. Megan came next in off-the-rack basics. Instagram down to 12,000 hate watchers. Receptionist at a dental office. Sarah looked hollow. Back in Iowa, applying to community colleges. PhD revoked. Tyler arrived last, constantly checking over his shoulder. 3 jobs to pay off debts. Parents took a second mortgage. I insisted on paying for wine. The same wine from poker nights, back when they could afford it. Hannah, Jake started. We need to say something. Oh, what we did. It was horrible. We planned it, all of it. Monstrous, Sarah added. Psychological torture. We're sorry, Megan said genuinely. Tyler nodded vigorously. It was sick. I let their apologies dissipate, then smiled peacefully. I appreciate that. But your apologies don't matter to me. They shifted uncomfortably. You see, you revealed who you really were. And once someone shows their true face, you can't unsee it. Hannah, Jake started. I'm not finished. You know what's funny about these past 3 months? Every single thing that happened was your own doing. Jake, you chose to cheat. Megan, you stole. Sarah, you plagiarized. Tyler, you gambled money you didn't have. But the timing, Megan protested. The timing was karma. You forgot I was listening all those years. Too nice to matter, right? Too sweet to be dangerous? Sarah's eyes widened. It was you! I laughed. Me? Check my browser history. Phone records, bank statements. Every moment accounted for. Jake's face was red. You destroyed us! No, you destroyed yourselves. I just didn't save you. I stood, pulling out cash. Wait, Tyler said. The stuff with Big Mike. Did I tell him you were skimming? Number. Did I prevent rumors from spreading? Also no. I leaned close. Nobody's after you. You're after yourselves. You've always been your own worst enemies. I just stopped protecting you from that. I straightened up. Oh, one more thing. Anna, Tyler's ex. She recorded everything. Your planning sessions, Operation Baldy, your betting pools. She sent them to me after the live stream. Their faces went white. Don't worry, I won't release them. Unless you come near me again, consider it mutually assured destruction. She was recording us? Tyler whispered. She thought your bragging was just drunk talk until she saw what you did to me. Guilt's funny that way. I walked toward the exit, then turned. The saddest part? If you'd just been honest, just said you wanted to be cruel for laughs, I would have walked away. It was the fake friendship that demanded response. Sarah found her voice. So this was revenge? No, this was justice. Revenge would have been posting your secrets online. This was just me choosing not to protect you from yourselves anymore. I left them there, in that expensive restaurant they couldn't afford. October in Chicago, leaves turning gold. I was in Alliance Bakery, working on a presentation. My hair had grown to a stylish bob. My promotion to Director of Development had come through. Turns out, when you stop being everyone's doormat, people see leadership potential. Hannah? Sarah stood there in a Walmart uniform, looking exhausted beyond physical tiredness. Sarah, how are you? She laughed bitterly. Can I sit? I gestured to the chair. I work at Walmart now, in Iowa. I saw you and had to ask, was it really you? What do you think? I think you orchestrated everything, but I can't prove it. How is everyone? Jake's still at Best Buy, still in his mom's basement, going bald for real now. Megan's with her parents in California, working at her dad's accounting firm. Tyler joined the army. Good for Tyler. That takes courage. Sarah leaned forward. How did you do it? I didn't destroy you. Jake destroyed himself when he cheated. You all gave me your passwords, schedules, secrets over 7 years. You thought I was too nice to matter. That night was planned for 2 weeks. Operation Baldy. You wrote about it. Subject H's response to public humiliation. I was Subject H. She flinched. You read my thesis. Every word, including Professor Heidelberg's beautiful German originals. Silence. Do you feel bad? Sarah asked. I feel bad it came to this, that 7 years of friendship was fake, but that you faced consequences? No, we created a monster, she whispered. No, you revealed one. My monster only comes out when someone tries to destroy me. Yours came out for fun. She stood to leave. We were good friends once, real friends, and we threw it away for laughs. Yes, you did. The recordings Anna made. Do they really exist? I smiled. What do you think? She left without answering. My phone buzzed. My new friend group planning Friday game night. No bets, just fun. A news alert appeared. Chicago woman raises $50,000 for homeless youth through innovative partnership. That was me, doing what Megan pretended to do, but real. I donated my hair to charity once it grew long enough, sent the certificate to the old group chat. Some good came from that night after all. They all read it. No one responded. Last month, I ran into Tyler on leave, looking healthier than ever. Hannah, I need to tell you something. The marked cards, everything. It was my idea. I'm sorry, really sorry. Not because of what happened after, but because you brought brownies every week. You remembered my mom's birthday. I know. I'm sorry. You showed me who you really were. In a way, you did me a favor. I spent 7 years being nice to people who didn't deserve it. Now I save my kindness for people who do. Do you forgive us? Forgiveness implies I care enough to hold a grudge. You're all just lessons learned. The army therapist says what we did was psychological assault. Too smart therapist. Were you really going to let Big Mike break my legs? I turned back. I don't know Big Mike, but I heard he doesn't like being lied to. Funny how rumors spread. I left him processing that sweet Hannah would have let him face physical harm. My presentation was titled, Building Trust in Corporate Partnerships. The irony wasn't lost on me. The coffee shop played a song from that night. For a moment, I felt the old pain, then remembered Jake in his Best Buy vest, Megan at reception, Sarah in Walmart, Tyler in fatigues. They'd wanted to break me for entertainment. Instead, they'd forged something harder, smarter, more dangerous than they'd imagined. I raised my coffee in a silent toast to the girl who'd walked into that apartment. She was gone, but not forgotten. She was the sacrifice that created who I was now. My phone buzzed. Amanda, Jake's ex. Is this Hannah? Thank you for that text about Patricia. You saved me from marrying a cheater. I typed back. I don't know what you mean, but I'm glad you're free. She responded, sure you don't. Want to grab drinks? I agreed. After all, the best revenge is living well. The end. They'd bet against the wrong person, gambled their futures on the assumption that kindness equals weakness. They lost everything. And me? I learned that sometimes the sweetest revenge is served with a smile and the simple decision to stop protecting people from themselves. They created their own destroyer, armed with their own secrets. Hair grows back, trust doesn't. And sometimes that's exactly how it should be.